Hi, Miss Clem. So from the age 5 till 9, in the second Dover house and the first Medford house, they would throw me downstairs for catching me masturbating. Most of the times I was masturbating off the X-Men movies, Mystique from the X-Men movies. So he would throw me down the 15 feet of stairs that was in the second Dove house and the first Medford house. He would also do the same thing because he would also do the same thing for for my because he also did the same thing for me 15 feet down the stairs in the first Medford house and second Dover house because I was short and skinny from the age 5 to 9. He also did it to AJ because he was short and chubby. Although I'm pretty sure that he threw me downstairs more often than AJ for being short and skinny. He would often refer to me as small fry for until I turned 9 and make fun of my and insult my height and be mean about my height. And then AJ did it when he turned 9 and I was 7 because he was angry at me because Dad didn't want him to go on the ride at 6'5" because I was still too short and too young. The same goes for the paintball thing place. And I got more depressed that I couldn't do the paintball or any of the rides at Six Flags, which was most of them, because of my height. And it triggered my PTSD at the time because of Vinny. And the first time we went to those places, we went to those places once a year until I was tall enough. And it started at 6 years old, I was. And also, Vinny said that Dad has no backbone. This was when he was saying really mean things to me in the second Dover house before we moved to the first Medford house sometime. And he says that's why he calls and says mean things to me because he won't put up with my shit, and that's why he abuses me. Because he won't put up with my shit because I'm a loser. And Dad would put up with my shit. That's why he wouldn't abuse me or call mean things to me. And also, sometime when I was 10, Vinny abused me for after the day I told on Lighthouse School. Because that's why because he was abusing me. The therapist called Vinny, the one I told on at the school on Vinny, and Vinny decided to slam my back on the floor while strangling me, and then punch me. I was trying to get the 21 time, and he punched me in the head that day. And the next day, the therapist got Mr. Orlando, and he asked Vinny's reason we were going to do something wrong, and I said Vinny hit me, so nothing happens because I said the wrong words. But Dad says they were just mean assholes and cowards. Right, gang?
Yeah.
That's why you didn't do anything. So that day when I was 10, this was the day so one day when I was 10, a different day when I was 10, I took on the entire A-bag and teacher in the entire school because I had to get restrained. It took not the entire A-bag squad or the teachers was enough to restrain me that was left in the school. Restrain you down. And I got mad at Miss Holmberg and I got assaulted Miss Holmberg and Miss Cole and the third homing teacher. I forget what the reason was. Do you remember what the reason was?
I don't remember.
Oh, I remember what the reason was. It was because they put me on a program and says that I hit his mom at home. Abuse mom at home while she's dying of ALS and can't walk anymore or barely talk. That's what the condition of her house was in. And Vinny says, the teacher said that, mom said that, but it was Vinny that said that when he had after that group meeting with the teachers at the house. And another reason why Vinny threw me down the stairs in the first Medford house and second Dover house, the 15 feet of stairs, involves because, well, just the first Medford house is because it only happened in the first Medford house's story. These times, not, although he did throw me down the stairs in the second Dover house. Don't get it, I just want to make sure you're not confused. But for this specific one, the reason why he threw me down the stairs in the first Medford house, the 15 feet of stairs, is for telling on Columbus that he abused me and getting in detention by Columbus, because the reason I got detention from Columbus is because of Vinny, because he didn't believe that Vinny abused me, the principal didn't. Miss Berry. From Columbus. There was only one teacher that, Miss Hanlon was the only teacher that tried to do anything after I told her about it, and then I assaulted her the next day after nothing happened, because I thought she betrayed me, so I wanted to hurt her bad physically. This was in first grade when I was 7, I think. And 6. Oh yeah, I remember when the playground accident happened. It happened in 2nd grade, not 1st grade. When I was in Miss Hanlon's classroom. But I was still 7 when it happened, oh, okay? Then? You know about the playground accident, Miss Coyne. It was the same one when my eye came out. I had caused one severe concussion and severe internal bleeding in the brain. That happened to me at 7. So I remember it didn't happen on my 7th birthday. It happened sometime when I was 7, right? Makes sense? Yeah, I know. Anyway, the day before my first birthday, when I was 0, before I went to bed at nighttime, I was having a bunch of negative thoughts and thinking I should just kill myself now break before everyone else dies that I love when I'm an old man. So I went to the bed, and my vasculitis was acting up in my head, the one in my head, and because then my depression started acting up, and I started thinking about negative thoughts, and I went to bed because I didn't know what else to do, so I passed out. I passed out over depression. I fell asleep by thinking about a bunch of negative thoughts. And on my first birthday, my depression acted up again along with my vasculitis. My vasculitis acted up because of my vasculitis and my depression because of my vasculitis those times. And I'm walking back and forth, right? Sorry. And anyway, am I looking quiet enough at least? Okay, and on my first birthday, I had a very depressing moment before I fell in the ice cream cake, and I thought the ice cream cake was Deanna, and I asked her to marry me because it tasted delicious. Am I taking a good picture?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and I was also having another depressing episode when I was 1, and I was on Dad's bed. Me and AJ were watching the Transformers movie on Dad's bed, and Dad was getting us a pizza, getting me strawberry milk, while me and AJ were snacking on junk food and pizza. When I was 1 year old, the year was 1998. That was the year. And I started to tune out everything because my vasculitis was acting up along with my depression. And then I eventually snapped out of it when Dad brought me my strawberry milk. And then I got depressed again, because he realized that when I said red milk, I was talking about white milk from the Hood brand. So he had to bring the strawberry milk twice while I was in the middle of having depressing episodes. And Dad, don't eat your feelings. Okay, so I got depressed and my vasculitis acted up twice that night while Dad was in the middle of making trips to the kitchen to add strawberry syrup in the milk twice. And the third time, he finally realized that I wasn't trying to strawberry, I was just trying to regular milk made by the Hood brand made by the Hood band. And so AJ had pointed out that I wasn't talking about I was talking about regular milk, and he explained the whole thing to that. And so Dad, for the third time, he got it right. And in the middle of while he was at the kitchen, I was having my vasculitis act up again, along with my depression act up again. And then he came, and then I got my milk. Remember that, Dad? You didn't know I was having depression moments, the 3 times that night, or vasculitis moments acting up, right?
No.
3 times that night?
I know.
Do you think AC noticed?
I think we noticed something.
Because it looks like he noticed that something was wrong with me. I remember him looking at me, like asking if everything okay. And you told Adrian to just relax. He's probably just enjoying the movie and getting distracted, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that you were wrong about that. I'm thinking that you were wrong about that over those years ago. Okay. Am I missing out on anything?
No.
That's all.